Hello, I'm Matt Guff from thehouse.com, and this is a 2019 Rome Artifact snowboard. This is a great park board for anyone, from beginners to advanced level riders. I've been on the Artifact for a long time. I usually ride, or used to ride what they had as a camber style version. Now they've kind of switched up some things, but overall, this is a board that does really well in the parks. A lot of jib kids love it, a lot of jumpers like it as well. It has a softer than average flex, and has actually a really cool graphic. But this thing can really stand up to taking a beating. A lot of kids that ride the park ding this thing on rails, they press it in weird places, and of course it holds up. Rome does a great job, and they also do a 2-year warranty. The Artifact is a true twin board. The nose and the tail are the exact same shape. When you ride it this way or this way, it's going to feel the exact same. It does feature a centered stance and a centered side cut radius. It's a radial side cut. And then of course there's going to be one of the most important parts about the board is the profile shape. Rome calls it a contact rocker. I call it flat underneath your feet and between your feet with a little bit of rise on the nose and the tail. That rise is actually only 2 millimeters. It's just a little bit, not too much. And I like that because even when you're just kind of cruising the Artifact around, it doesn't feel overly loose in those contact points. You can still put it on an edge and still carve from the park down to the chairlift if you want. And the profile shape, with it being flat underneath your feet, kind of gives it a little surfy of a feel without making it too loose. So again, you can put it on an edge and it's gonna bite down. You'll still be able to carve it, and with that flat, kind of like that flat profile in between the feet, so it offers a nice like ollie platform when you're in the parks and you need to jump off jumps and of course jump onto rails. The feel and flex rating, Rome actually gives it a feel and flex of about a 5. I'd probably put it about a 4, a little softer than average because of the skate core profiling. The board actually has tip to tail, rail to rail wood. There's stronger and more high dense woods underneath where your bindings rest to kind of give a little extra structure. But for the most part, it's going to be a 4. It feels a little bit softer, again, than what you find in your average board. But it's been kind of built up a little bit, and it still flexes well. So those Biax fiberglasses actually run at 0 and at 90 degrees. So torsionally, the board is like, you can twist it really well. So if you're on a rail and you need to lift up your edge a little bit, you have the ability to do that there. But it doesn't mean that the nose and the tail are like going to be extra soft or too soggy, because Rome added in a brand new thing that they did for this year, is actually called the high beam, not the I-beam, a high beam. So everyone kind of knows that Rome does like glass kind of rods, or what they call hot rods or turbo rods. This is actually like a 3D kind of like a piece that's on the nose and the tail. Basically the same style or concept as a turbo rod, just kind of a little bit different. It's not actually molded into, or it's not milled out into the wood core. It actually rests on top of the core. It has a kind of like an opposite kind of shaping than what you have in the shaping of the nose and the tail. So the rocker on the nose is like this. The rod is actually kind of has this camber look, but that's only on the top. There's nothing on the bottom. And that shape is to kind of combat that rocker when you're trying to compress to do an ollie. But again, because it runs on the nose and the tail just in the center of the board, it's not going to give it a torsional stiffness, which is actually pretty cool. Another great little thing about the Artifact is that it has glass impact plates in the toe and the heel area underneath each binding. So when boards break, usually it's right behind or in front of your bindings. And Rome has kind of like beat those sections up with those impact plates. Another cool thing with the board is the rebound sidewalls. These rebound sidewalls have elastomer, and it's actually absorbs a little bit more shock. It's not going to be brittle when it's cold outside. It's not going to crack. And you know, if you ding this thing, it's going to kind of like absorb and then kind of push it back, which is actually kind of nice. But the thing that really stands out about the Artifact so much is that skate core profiling. So there's a lot of stuff happening for a pretty simple board. But the thing I think that gives it the feel that it has the most, besides the profile shape, is that skate core profiling. So in between the feet, the board's wood core is actually just a little bit thinner than what you find underneath your feet and on the nose and the tail. So when you want to lock in a press, it's going to have a lot of flex right there and a lot of flex right there, because that section is actually just going to be a little bit thinner. The base will stand up because it's an impact base. This is an extruded, a very hard base. There's no die cut, so it's not going to pop out if you catch it on a rail. And then again, there's that 360 wrap standard steel edge with a radial side cut, and that stance is set in the middle of that side cut radius. And yeah, it's a fun board. It's again softer. It's a park deck. If you ride in the park, you're gonna love this thing. If you want to like cruise kind of the whole mountain, of course you could ride it. It's gonna be I don't want to say unstable, but it'll feel a little looser than maybe you'd hoped when you're riding at really high speeds. This is an Artifact, awesome deck that you can check out at thehouse.com. Make sure to check it out at by clicking the link below in the description. Leave a comment or a question. I know you guys have seen this board around. Let me know what you think of it. Subscribe to the channel there. Check out more vids there. Hopefully I'll see you on snow. Peace.